we were drafting the Constitution, his efforts should therefore inspire us to rededicate ourselves to the values and ideals founded in our Constitution for the prosperity of our country and the people. Comrade Hage has left us too soon. There is a lot more that he could have done for our country and our people, should his fiscal health allow it. That notwithstanding, we recognize and value the countless contributions he has made towards the attainment of our freedom and independence, and to the social and economic development of our country. Our nation will remember him for his patriotic deeds and his contribution to the building of a new democracy after decades of subjugation and colonial brutality. Jamonas, although Comrade Hage Geingob is no longer with us, fiscally, his legacy will forever be remembered by Namibians whose lives were positively impacted by his deeds and by his wise leadership. Let us honor the legacy of Comrade Hage Geingob by reinforcing the policy of national reconciliation, strengthening of our democratic institutions, maintaining peace and stability, and implementing policies that can bring about tangible improvement in the lives of all our people. Lastly, I would like to acknowledge and show my sincere appreciation and gratitude to you all, my fellow Namibian citizens, for your planning and the participation in the heartfelt memorial services for our late President Hage Geingob. In all our regions, cities, towns, and villages, I do this from the bottom of my heart. I thank you all. May my fellow citizens, to our former First Lady, Madam Monica Genkos, the children, the entire immediate and extended family, I would like to say, we share your sorrow, your pain, and your loss. Our hearts and our prayers are with you during this difficult, dark time. We wish you solace, strength, and consolidation during this moment. May the Almighty God give you strength to carry on. May the soul of our dear departed President, Hage Geingob, rest in peace forever. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. The back of the vehicle. Yes. Same vehicle.
Excellencies, I would like first and foremost to appeal. I would like to appeal to that side there. There is too much noise there. I don't know whether you are listening. We want some order there, please. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President, Your Excellencies, Head of State and Governments, fellow monarchs, I would like to invite the Right Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Sarah Kuongera Amadila, our Prime Minister, to deliver the statement of our founding president and father of the Namibian nation, Dr. Sam Safishuna Nujoma. Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kapofi, Co-Director of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, and Madame Bumba, Madame Monica Geinkos, former First Lady, the children, and the entire Geingob family, Your Excellencies, heads of states and governments, current and retired, and all leaders of delegation, all protocol observed. I will read the tribute by His Excellency Dr. Sam Nujoma, founding president and father of the Namibian nation, on the occasion of the state funeral in honor of His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, national hero and third president of the Republic of Namibia. It goes as follows. Your Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, and Madame Mbumba, First Lady, Madame Monica Geinkos, former First Lady, the children and the entire Geingob family, Your Excellency, heads of state and government, past and present, Your Excellency Dr. Hifike Punye Pohamba, former President, and Madame Pohamba, former First Lady, Your Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwa, Vice President and retired Lieutenant General Ndaitwa, Her Royal Highness Princess Anne of the British Royal Family, members of the Diplomatic Corps and other foreign dignitaries, allow me to stand by the protocol already established. We are gathered here not only to bid farewell to His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, the third President of the Republic of Namibia, but also to celebrate his heroic life and acknowledge his immense contributions to the attainment of our country's independence and nation building. The sad news of his untimely passing struck a deep and solemn note when I received a call shortly after midnight on Sunday, the 4th of February, 2024, from His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, informing me that President Geingob is no more. The last time I spoke to the late President Hage Geingob was when he called me on a day before he went for medical treatment abroad. On that occasion, I wish him a quick recovery and renewed strength to continue leading our country to greater heights of economic development and prosperity. As the nation collectively grieves this profound loss of a loving husband to his dear wife and a caring father to his children, our thoughts and prayers are with the widow, Madame Monica Geinkos, former First Lady, the children, and the extended Geingob's family and clan at this difficult time. May you find solace in the knowledge that as a nation we share in your grief and join you in mourning our departed President Geingob. Fellow mourners, it is difficult to eulogize and vividly capture in words what makes a life and the essential truth of a person. However, having heard the many tributes that have been written over the past 3 weeks describing the late President Hage Geingob as a freedom fighter, a Pan-Africanist, and the chief architect of our Constitution and our governance architecture, I could not agree more with such description, as it is appropriate and fits him aptly. Indeed, it has been profoundly touching to witness how the news of his untimely passing united our nation in grief and sorrow. Similarly, the outpouring of love from all over the world is a testament to President Geingob's diplomacy of multilateralism when he said, "Namibia is a child of international solidarity and therefore a friend to all and an enemy to none." Against this background, the theme of this state funeral, which reads, "Inclusivity spells harmony, exclusivity spells conflict," is befitting as the late President Hage Geingob fervently advocated for our country's unity in diversity, reflecting our unique Namibian identity as opposed to our different ethnic identities, which he weaved together in a common tapestry through his mantra of the Namibian House, in which no one should feel left out. He will thus be remembered as a unifier because he embodied a politics that was not divisive, as he understood the immense power of unity and vehemently fought against tribalism. For those of us who knew him, those who worked alongside him, and those who loved him, it is unbearable that we will not see him again. We may have lost the commanding presence of a gentle giant and a roaring lion with the heart of a lamb, as well as the heavy accented tone of a towering figure, but his spirit will live on in the countless men and women that he mentored and trained over the years. Fellow mourners, the first time I met the late President Hage Geingob was at Leopoldville, Kinshasa, in the Congo, now the Democratic Republic of Congo, when he joined us in exile in 1963 through Botswana, where he spent some time in a refugee camp before he left for the United States of America in 1964 to study at Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, when he was granted a scholarship. Subsequently, he obtained a BA degree in political science from Fordham University in New York in 1970 and a master's in international relations at the New School for Social Research in 1974. I appointed him as SWAPO representative at the United Nations and to the Americas when he was still a student, together with the late comrades Theoben Gurirab and Hidipo Hamtenya. Being a representative, he lobbied hard for the UN General Assembly's resolution 2145 of 27th of October 1966 to terminate the mandate of South Africa over Namibia and reaffirm our people's inalienable right to self-determination, freedom and independence. On my recommendation, the late President Hage Geingob was appointed director at the United Nations Institute for Namibia, UNIN, an educational body set up by the United Nations Council for Namibia in Lusaka, Zambia, on 26th of August 1976 to educate Namibians for roles in an independent Namibia. In 1989, he was appointed by the SWAPO Central Committee to lead the SWAPO election campaign as director, and I handed to him the SWAPO flag during the implementation of the UN General Assembly's Resolution 435. In September 1989, after nearly 30 years in exile, when I returned to Namibia, I was received by the late President Hage Geingob in Windhoek. I recall that when I stepped down from the plane, he held high the same SWAPO flag I had handed to him on 18th June 1989 and handed it back to me. After SWAPO's historic landslide victory in the 1989 UN supervised elections, the Constituent Assembly elected Comrade Hage Geingob as its chairman. His task was not only to conduct the proceedings, but also to build confidence between diverse parties and previously warring enemies. He showed us painstakingly that he was a skillful negotiator who was not afraid to seek for compromises for the sake of a bigger goal. Because of this, he was highly praised for his skillful handling of debates, which proved instrumental in ensuring that our country's supreme law was drafted in a record time of only 3 months and unanimously adopted on the 9th of February 1990. I then appointed Comrade Geingob as our country's first Prime Minister to oversee the restructuring of the public service that was fragmented along racial and ethnic lines, and to put up the new governance architecture of an independent Namibia. He executed his role with diligence and with dedication. I was therefore not surprised when he was elected as Vice President of SWAPO Party and eventually the third President of the SWAPO Party and of the Republic of Namibia. At this juncture, allow me to applaud the Namibian people for their calmness during the mourning period and for a seamless and peaceful transition of power. This is an indication that our democracy has matured and our state is stable because we have sound processes, systems, and institutions in place as envisioned by the late President Hage Geingob. In this regard, allow me to wholeheartedly convey good wishes to His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba for being sworn in as the 4th President of the Republic of Namibia when he filled the vacant post for the remainder of the term of office of the late President Hage Geingob in accordance with the provisions of the Namibian Constitution. In the same vein, allow me to extend my well wishes to Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah for her appointment as the Vice President of the Republic of Namibia. Fellow mourners, in according a hero's funeral to the late President Hage Geingob, we are giving a richly deserved recognition to a national hero and 3rd President of the Republic of Namibia as a recipient of many international awards, including the Jose Marti Order, which will be conferred on him posthumously by our Cuban friends and comrades in arms with whom we shared trenches together with the Angolan FAPLA forces until the final historic battle of Quito Cuanavale. The late President Hage Geingob is also a recipient of Namibia's highest award when he was conferred the most ancient order of the Welwitschia Mirabilis, and thus he deservedly enters the pantheon of Namibia's heroes and heroines. We will miss his towering presence in the corridors of the UN, the AU, and the SADC headquarters and summits, as well as at State House. But let me say to the young people of our country and Africa at large that they too can make his life's work their own. The late President Hage Geingob hails from humble beginnings, and the white minority colonial regime of South Africa thought that he will live a life of servitude because he was a child of farm laborers. However, life had a different destiny for him to endure a life of service, but not to any master other than to the struggling masses of the Namibian people, and he rose through the ranks to the highest office in the land of the brave. Looking at the scope of his accomplishments and the admiration that he so rightly earned, he has shown us that he earned his place in history through struggle and unrelenting spirit, and that is why we learned so much from him, and we can still learn from him. He taught us the importance of reason and arguments and the need to study not only those you agree with, but also those you do not agree with. As he used to say, you do not make peace with your friends, but with your enemies. In addition, he demonstrated that action and ideas are not enough, no matter how right. They must be molded into processes, systems, and institutions. Furthermore, he always demanded the best from everyone around him. In summary, he was very attentive, teachable, and a very consultative person who placed great emphasis on dialogue. Above all, being truthful was very important to him. As we bid the late President Hage Geingob a fond farewell at the end of his earthly journey, and when we have rejoined our daily routines, let us reflect on his distinguished career and what we can learn from him to ensure that the legacy he leaves behind has grown deep roots like the marula tree and good shade for future generations. On behalf of the veterans of our national liberation struggle, the Nyoma family, and indeed on my own behalf, allow me to convey our deepest condolences and heartfelt sympathies to Madam Monica Geingob, the former First Lady, the children, the extended Geingob's family, and the entire nation for this profound loss. As we walk through this dark cloud hovering around our nation, may we all be granted fortitude to overcome this bereavement and be left only with the most cherished memories of our departed, beloved, late President Dr. Hage Geingob. May his legacy illuminate our path as we chart the future destiny of our country to greater economic development and prosperity. May his soul rest in eternal peace. So ends the statement of His Excellency, the Founding Father. I will now proceed to call on the Namibian Defense Force Military Band to give us one item as we prepare for the next item, which is the tributes by the heads of states and government and other foreign dignitaries.
Calm down. Yes, and a very well welcome if you're watching us for the first time. We're coming to you live from the Independence Stadium, where the memorial service of Dr. Hage Geingob is just underway. We've had several speakers. And the last speaker was the founding president of Namibia, President Sam Nujoma. So we're almost halfway through with the program. It got off to a very good start, although there have been some late arrivals. What's next on the program, Denver? What's left?
So right now we'll see a performance by the Namibian Defence Force military band. That will be followed by heads of state and government and other foreign dignitaries delivering their tributes. Then we'll have another performance by the Namibian Defence Force military band. Thereafter, the former First Lady, the widow, Madam Monica Geingob, will deliver her tribute, followed by the address by the chief mourner, that is the President of the country, President Nangolo Mbumba. And then there will be announcements by the directors of ceremonies, followed by the benediction. And that more or less concludes the program for today's memorial service.
And in fact, thereafter, the body will again lie in state, which means that the public can then pay their respect once the VIPs have viewed the body, paid their respects, and left the stadium. Then the general public can then view the body and pay their respects. We will be with you until this evening when this actually happens, but we'll also be with you tomorrow morning when the actual burial takes place at Heroes Acre.
And that will conclude 3 weeks of mourning. The Namibian nation since Sunday, the 4th of February 2024, when the tragic news reached us, has been in mourning. President Nangolo Mbumba on Monday, the 5th of February, of course, declared the official mourning period to commence.
Thank you very much, NDF. Now, before I start to call on their excellencies, the heads of states and governments, and leaders of delegations who would be presenting tribute, I would just like to acknowledge some of the heads of states and governments that have not been included in the list of recognized leaders when we made the announcement earlier, and others arrived after we have commenced already. So I would like to recognize His Excellency Mr. Sauli Niinisto, President of the Republic of Finland, His Excellency Mr. João Manuel Gonçalves Lorenzo, President of the Republic of Angola, and Madam, His Excellency Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and Madam, His Excellency Dr. Mokwetsi Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, and Madam, His Excellency Mr. Lazarus Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Haimbe Mulambo, Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Mandarapu, High Commissioner of India, His Excellency Mr. Olusegun Obasanjo, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Ms. Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations Organization, and Her Excellency Ms. Eunice Ipinge, President of the Pan-African Women Organization. Welcome to you all, Your Excellencies. Now, I would like to start with the program of presentation of tributes by the foreign dignitaries, and the first is His Excellency, Mr. João Manuel Gonçalves Lorenzo, President of the Republic of Angola. I invite you to the podium, Your Excellency.
Sua Excelência Nangolo Mbumba, Presidente da República da Namíbia, Sua Excelência Presidente Fundador, Presidente Samu Yoma, Sua Excelência o segundo Presidente da República, Ifikepunye Lucas Pohamba,
Your Excellency Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency Sam Nujoma, the first President of Namibia, Your Excellency Lucas Hage Pohamba, the second President of the Republic of Namibia.
Senhora Hage Geingob, estimados membros da família do Malogrado, Excelências, chefes de Estado e do Governo, distintas entidades, minhas senhoras, meus senhores.
Dear Madame Hage Geingob and the bereaved family, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, ladies and gentlemen.
Cabe-me, na qualidade de Presidente da República de Angola e na de Presidente em exercício da SADC, a dolorosa responsabilidade de render homenagem nesta cerimônia profundamente triste, em que nos despedimos para a eternidade do nosso irmão, amigo, camarada e companheiro de luta, o Presidente Hage Geingob, figura incontornável do processo de libertação de África, um intrépido defensor da liberdade, da democracia e da dignidade dos povos africanos, e do povo namibiano em particular, pelo qual dedicou grande parte da sua vida.
I have the duty as the President of the Republic of Angola and the current chair of SADC to pay tribute at this deeply sad ceremony where we are saying goodbye for eternity to our brother, friend, comrade, and fellow fighter, President Hage Geingob, an outstanding figure in the African liberation process, a fearless defender of freedom, democracy, dignity of the African people and the Namibian people in particular, to whom he dedicated a large part of his life.
Nesta cerimônia fúnebre, ficamos sem palavras para expressar a nossa emoção e a nossa dor pela ausência irreparável do presidente Hage Geingob.
At this memorial ceremony, we are left without words to express our emotion and our pain due to the irreparable absence of President Hage Geingob.
Em nome dos líderes e dos povos da SADC e dos nossos parceiros, gostaria de dizer que o legado deixado pelo nosso camarada, de quem hoje nos despedimos, deve ser preservado e servir como referência para a concretização dos grandes objetivos da SADC e da África, como forma de homenagearmos esta grande figura africana da nossa história contemporânea.
On behalf of the leaders and people of SADC and our partners, I would like to say that the legacy left by our comrade, to whom we are saying goodbye today, must be preserved and should serve as a reference for the achievement of the great objectives of SADC and Africa. Such is the way of paying homage to this great African son of our contemporary history.
Permitam-me destacar o papel ativo e impulsionador que o presidente Hage Geingob desempenhou enquanto exerceu a função de presidente em exercício da SADC em 2018, durante a qual liderou a agenda de industrialização regional, promovendo o desenvolvimento de infraestruturas regionais, a capacitação dos jovens e o desenvolvimento sustentável da região, no âmbito do cumprimento dos objetivos que a sua presidência se propôs alcançar.
Allow me to highlight the active and visionary role played by President Hage Geingob while serving as SADC chairperson in 2018, during which he spearheaded the regional industrialization agenda by promoting the development of regional infrastructure, youth empowerment, and sustainable development of the region within the scope of fulfilling the objectives that his chairmanship had set out to achieve.
Destaco ainda o papel que exerceu na defesa da paz, da estabilidade e da segurança da região, premissas fundamentais para o desenvolvimento econômico e social da nossa sub-região.
I also would like to highlight the role he played in advocating for peace, stability, and security in the region, which are fundamental premises for the economic and social development of our sub-region.
Os feitos do presidente Hage Geingob são de tal dimensão e de tão grande amplitude que não conseguiríamos descrever em breves palavras o modo como se dedicou e se entregou à causa da construção, do progresso e do desenvolvimento da sua nação, da África Austral e do continente africano no geral.
The achievements of President Hage Geingob are such magnitude and scope that we would not be able to describe them in few words, that the way in which he dedicated himself and gave his life to the cause of building the progress and development of his nation, the Southern African region, and the African continent in general.
A dor e tristeza estão espantadas nos rostos dos cidadãos namibianos pela perda do seu estimado e admirado líder, mas estou convencido que a saberão transformar em energia para se dedicarem com vigor à construção da nação, forte, resiliente e exemplar em termos de estabilidade, segurança e paz que o presidente Hage Geingob tinha no seu projeto de nação.
The pain and sadness are written on the faces of the Namibian citizens due to the loss of their esteemed and admired leader. But I'm convinced that they will know how to transform this sadness into energy to dedicate themselves with bravery to building the strong, resilient, and exemplary nation in terms of stability, security, and peace, which President Hage Geingob had in his project of nation.
Ao longo dos anos da luta comum contra o regime do apartheid da África do Sul, Angola e a Namíbia estabeleceram inquebrantáveis e duradouros laços de amizade, irmandade e de cooperação que muito nos orgulham.
Over the years of the common struggle against the apartheid regime in South Africa, Angola and Namibia have established unbreakable and long-lasting bonds of friendship, brotherhood and cooperation that make us proud.
A dor do povo namibiano é nossa dor e por esta razão estamos presentes para partilhar esta dor e dizer que em momentos difíceis como este podem contar sempre com a nossa solidariedade.
The pain of the Namibian people is our pain, and for this reason we are present here to share in this pain and say that in difficult times like this, you can always count on our solidarity.
Em nome do governo angolano e no da SADC, permitam-me que apresente a viúva do malogrado, aos filhos, a toda a família enlutada, ao povo e ao governo namibiano, os nossos mais profundos sentimentos de pesar.
On behalf of the Angolan government and the behalf of SADC, allow me to convey to the widow of the deceased president, his children and the entire bereaved family, to the people and the government of Namibia, our deepest condolences.
Que a alma do malogrado presidente Hage Geingob descanse em paz.
May the soul of the late President Hage Geingob rest in peace.
Muito obrigado.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Lorenzo of the Republic of Angola, for your tribute. Now, before I proceed to call the next speaker, I would like to recognize the presence of His Excellency Mr. Philippe Jancito Nyusi, President of the Republic of Mozambique. Having done so, I would proceed to invite His Excellency Dr. Mokwetsi Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, to present his tribute.
His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, and your dear wife, Madam former First Lady Monica Gengos, the Geingob children and all bereaved, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, the people of Namibia. On this somber day, as we gather to repose our final respects on one of Africa's heroes, and while the mood in the atmosphere is filled with sadness at the demise of Dr. Hage Geingob, it is our fond memories of this stalwart that enabled us to gather the strength to observe this occasion as a celebration of our life well lived. It is sad as we mourn the loss of a beloved husband, father, brother, uncle, friend and colleague, and yet also celebratory as we acknowledge and recognize the magnificence of his example. My wife and I, the Botswana delegation, are here today because my departed elder brother, Dr. Hage Geingob, was a true friend of Botswana. He had a special place in his heart for my people and country. I came to realize this as on several occasions when we met and conversed, he reminisced about his days as a refugee in Botswana. I always admired his humble demeanor, his straight talk, and his genuine appreciation of the contribution Botswana and Botswana made to the liberation of his country. The people of Namibia that gallantly fought against brutal colonization and also apartheid's occupation and racial oppression. While some are not as informed about the sacrifices Botswana made to the liberation struggle in our sub-region, in Dr. Geingob, I found a man who understood and sympathized with our unenviable position, which is right in the belly of the beast. When talking about his stay in Botswana, he would say to me, I open quote, in my wildest dreams, I could not imagine that one day a refugee in a small white house in Francistown would become president of his country, close quote. He would then unleash his trademark, handsome and infectious smile and chortle. I surmise that this disposition on how an individual's life chances may unfold in the course of time is not alien to us, as each one of us has some narrative to tell regarding the hand of fate in our earthly and mortal existence. Since his untimely demise, the world has been awash with messages that epitomize this remarkable man as a distinguished servant of the people, a liberation struggle icon, the pillar and gatekeeper of the Namibian House. Dr. Geingob and I shared a common vision and an unwavering determination to achieve higher levels of development for our peoples. His remarkable statesmanship endeared him to many globally. He was a true Pan-Africanist and genuine believer in multilateralism. I recall with fond memory our numerous meetings and robust exchanges on the challenges facing our people and our resolve to act in unity and solidarity to address the common challenges and achieve the goal of shared prosperity for our peoples. Our leaders' bilateral meeting, which was meant to have been held in January in Gaborone this year, remains postponed, as in his words, and I open quote, because I'm an unwell young man, but we will meet later after my recovery, close quote. President Geingob will be remembered for the 2023 bilateral agreement to allow citizens of Botswana and Namibia to use their national identity cards to cross the border between our two countries. I deeply valued President Geingob's support as a senior statesman, a confidant, and trustworthy partner in building the extraordinary partnership our two countries and people enjoy today. We are all the better for having been touched by President Geingob's influence and huge sacrifices. My confidence is firm that our two countries and people will leverage on the solid foundation built by Dr. Geingob for us to broaden and deepen our relations and strong bonds of friendship that subsist between our countries and people. I thank Monica Geingos and family for sharing and supporting him to the very end. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I thank you for your attention.
Your Excellency President Masisi for that tribute. I would now like to invite His Excellency General Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi. Your Excellency.
In the name of God, Your Excellency Nangolo Mbumba, President of Namibia, Your Excellency Monica Geingob, former First Lady of Namibia, dear sister, Your Excellency, Head of State and Government and the Head of Delegation present here, Your Excellency, former President of Namibia, ladies and gentlemen, our protocol observed, dear sister and brothers, Namibians. I am here with my wife on behalf of the people and the government of the Republic of Burundi to express our deep sorrow and heartfelt sympathy to the government and the people of the Republic of Namibia and the family of His Excellency Hage Geingob, particularly to Her Excellency Monica Geingob's former First Lady. A baobab has fallen. I stand here to pay tribute to this great statement, a liberation struggle icon, a freedom fighter, a comrade of all African freedom fighters, and a true Pan-Africanist. We Burundians will always remember His Excellency Hage Geingob as one of the Africa's greatest statesmen who has earned his place in history as a champion of democracy, freedom, equality, human rights, and reconciliation, not only in Namibia, but also with the African continent and beyond. We draw inspiration from Mr. Hage Geingob's lifelong and selfless dedication and effort to promote a culture of peace, harmony, and reconciliation among people as a legacy of inspiration of Burundi. That is why, Your Excellency, President of Namibia, dear brothers and sisters from Namibia, you can be assured that Burundians' thoughts and prayers are with you in your grief. May the soul of our dear comrade, Hage Geingob, rest in eternal peace. Thank you. May God bless the people of Namibia.
Tanzania, I now would like to invite His Excellency Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Your Excellency.
Excellences, Monsieur Nangolo Mbumba, Président de la République de Namibie, distinguée Première Dame, Madame Monica Gengos, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs d'État et de gouvernement, Excellences, Messieurs les anciens chefs d'État, Mesdames et Messieurs, chers peuples namibiens.
Excellency, Mr. President of the Republic of Namibia, Excellency, First Lady, former First Lady of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency, Head of State and of Government, distinguished invitees, the people of Namibia, ladies and gentlemen.
C'est avec une grande tristesse et un profond émoi que j'apprenais le 4 février dernier le décès de mon regretté homologue et cher frère, son Excellence Dr Hage Geingob, à l'âge de 82 ans.
It was with big sadness and big emotions that I learned on the 4th of February 2024 the passing of my regretted brother, President Hage Geingob, who we are crying today.
Défenseur invétéré de la République de Namibie et de son peuple, l'Afrique et le monde pleurent ce jour un grand combattant de la liberté qui a eu à servir et à honorer avec bravoure et dignité sa patrie. Défenseur invétéré.
Invertebrated defender of the Republic of Namibia and of his people, Africa and the world cry today a great combatant of freedom who was served and honored with bravery and dignity his patrie.
En effet, le président Hage Geingob fait partie de ces grands hommes qui, très jeunes et au prix de nombreux sacrifices, dont un exil de près de 30 années loin de sa mère patrie, ont fait de la justice et du bien-être du plus grand nombre un objectif.
Indeed, President Hage Geingob belongs to great men since his young age and in the price of a lot of sacrifices, including the exile for about 30 years far from his motherland, who actually fought for justice and the well-being of the great number, and that was his leitmotiv.
Tout Premier ministre de la République de Namibie à l'indépendance, puis président de la République à partir de 2015, le Dr Geingob aura marqué d'une empreinte indélébile la destinée de tout un peuple et inspiré bien des leaders par sa vision d'une Namibie harmonieuse et prospère, mais aussi par son combat pour une Afrique intégrée, développée et mieux représentée, notamment dans le concert des nations.
He was the first Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia at its independence, then President of the Republic from 2015. Dr. Geingob marks the destiny of the whole people and inspired many leaders by his vision of an harmonious Namibia and prosperous one, but also for his fight for an integrated Africa, developed one, and moreover represented in the nations, among the nations.
Excellences, Monsieur le Président de la République de Namibie, cher peuple namibien, aux larmes versées depuis le 4 février 2024 et à l'annonce de la disparition du défunt, j'aimerais que se substitue ce jour le souvenir du sourire enjoué de celui que nous portons aujourd'hui en sa dernière demeure et que soit célébrée la vie, la vision ainsi que les valeurs qu'ont pu transcender le président Hage Geingob tout au long de son existence et qui se caractériseront pour l'éternité.
Excellency, Mr. President of the Republic of Namibia and dear people of Namibia, toward or up to the tears that we have shared since the 4th of February 2024, and after the announcement of the passing of the President Geingob, I would like you to substitute the remembrance of all the smiles that you got from him that brought us today and help him to go toward his last house. And then we would like to celebrate his life, his vision, as well as the values that went beyond his life during his existence that will be characterized by eternity.
En effet, nous garderons le souvenir impérissable de ce vaillant homme d'État, héros de l'indépendance namibienne et de la lutte contre l'apartheid, Dr. Hage Geingob, grand leader panafricain.
Indeed, we will always remember this imperishable great man, that hero of the independence of Namibia, and then the one who fought for apartheid, Dr. Hage Geingob, great Pan-Africanist leader.
Excellences, Monsieur le Président de la République de Namibie, distinguée Madame Monica Gingos, chère famille, cher peuple namibien, veuillez ici recevoir au nom du peuple congolais et au mien propre mes condoléances les plus attristées ainsi que l'expression de ma profonde sympathie.
Your Excellency, Mr. President of the Republic of Namibia, distinguished Madam Monica Gingos, dear family, dear people of Namibia, may you receive today in the name of the Congolese people and in my own name all the sad condolences as well as the expression of my profound sympathy.
À la famille éplorée et particulièrement à vous, distinguée Première Dame, Madame Monica Gingos, puisse le souvenir du combat mené par votre très cher époux pour l'avènement d'une Namibie égalitaire et la dévotion ainsi que l'amour inconditionnel qu'il vous a porté à vous, à vos enfants et à la patrie, constituer le terreau de votre consolation.
To the bereaved family, and particularly to you, distinguished First Lady, Madame Monica Gingos, may the remembrance of his struggle goes or done by your dear spouse for the upcoming of the equal Namibia, as well as the devotion and the love, unconditional love that he has given you and to your children, may this constitute a way of consolation for you.
Enfin, je ne saurais clore mon propos sans vous souhaiter, Excellence Monsieur Nangolo Mbumba, cher frère et président de la République, tous mes vœux de succès et de réussite dans l'exercice de vos nouvelles fonctions, ainsi que vous rassurer du soutien de mon pays, la République démocratique du Congo, dans cette terrible épreuve.
At the end, I cannot close my speech without wishing you, Your Excellency, Mr. Nangolo Mbumba, dear brother and President of the Republic, all my wishes for success in the exercise of your new duties. I would like to reassure you of the support of my country, the Democratic Republic of Congo, during these sad events.
Puisse Dieu bénir la République de Namibie et son peuple. Puisses-tu, cher frère, Dr Hage Geingob, reposer en paix. Je vous remercie.
May God bless the Republic of Namibia and its people. May you, dear brother, Dr. Hage Geingob, rest in peace. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Tshisekedi Tshilombo, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, for that tribute. I now invite Her Excellency Madame Sahle-Work Zewde, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia.
Your Excellency Nangolo Mbumba and Madam, former First Lady and my dear sister Monica Gengos, the family of the late President, Excellencies, the first and second President of Namibia, Excellencies, heads of state and government, fellow Namibians. On behalf of the government and the people of Ethiopia, and indeed on my own, I would like to extend our sincere, heartfelt condolences to the family of President Geingob, to the government and people of this brotherly country. We stand with you in sorrow. Moments such as this takes us back the memory lane. Late President Geingob fought for the independence of his country, the rights and well-being of his people, putting in many occasions his own life in danger. He amplified the voices of liberty of Namibians. He fought the fight worth fighting. Indeed, he fought the good fight. This is what makes a person with vision and leadership skills a giant, a hero. Last year in February, we inaugurated together the new embassy in Namibia in Addis Ababa. This is essentially what he said. I am going to borrow his own speech. Ethiopia and Namibia's relations date back to the 1960s, long before Namibia's independence, when Ethiopia and Liberia, the only African countries member of the League of Nations, took the case of independence for the then Southwest Africa to the International Court of Justice, challenging the continuous presence of South Africa in Namibia. Disappointedly, the court ruled in favor of the apartheid South Africa. President Geingob just said, "We sought justice, but were served injustice." But Ethiopia didn't relent. The successive governments of my country continued to provide diplomatic and political support to SWAPO while giving military training to its combatants as well as pilot trainings. In fact, it was on board Ethiopian Airlines flights with an Ethiopian pilot and Namibian pilots trained in Ethiopia that the first president of this country, His Excellency Samia, returned to his country. Late President Geingob told us the role he played in this as well. Because no country will be independent enough if Africa is not totally free from colonialism. That was the clear position of the leader. I have been knowing President Geingob for a long time. He had this remarkable ability to easily connect with everyone he met. His legacy will live for generations to come. This is a life to celebrate, as we should celebrate those who fought for the total independence and liberation of our continent, especially those who are still alive. It is for us to play a positive role in the life of our countries and our continent. The bond that was established before independence between our two countries will continue to shape our current relations. That's what he told us last year. We are committed to take it to a higher level. We will miss President Geingob in Addis Ababa, which we used to see him every year. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, President Zewde of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. I now invite His Excellency, Mr. Sauli Niinisto, President of Finland.
Your Excellency, President Mumba, Your Excellency, Founding President Dr. Nuyoma, Your Excellency, Second President Dr. Boamba, Madam Monica Geingob, representatives of the Namibian government and people, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have gathered here to honor the legacy of President Hage Geingob, a great Namibian, a great African, a remarkable statesman, and a citizen of the world. President Geingob left a strong legacy. We came to know him as a determined statesman who dedicated his entire life to freedom and nation building in Namibia. He also left a legacy of close friendship with Finland. This friendship is built on a solid foundation of over 150 years of shared history, but it also rests on strong bonds between individuals. A notable example is the bond between President Geingob and the late Finnish President and Nobel Peace Prize laureate Martti Ahtisaari. Both were instrumental in the Namibian independence process. Both loved this country very deeply. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past year, I had the privilege of getting to know Hage Geingob personally. At his invitation, I made a state visit to Namibia in April. That visit left a deep impression on me. The heartfelt hospitality and friendliness of the Namibian people and the inspiring exchanges I had with Hage. We shared thoughts and ideas on peace, equality, and the importance of multilateralism. Physically, of course, our countries are thousands of miles apart. Still, maybe due to history, maybe something else, we connected. We consider it as a good example for others. The last beautiful manifestation of the friendship between our nations at the highest level was President Geingob's and Madame Geingob's attendance at the funeral of Martti Ahtisaari in November. Symbolically, at the service, Bible passages were read in the Ndonga language. A friend wanted to pay tribute to his friend for the last time. I have today the same honor. As my term as President of Finland soon comes to a close, I promise to leave this legacy of friendship between Finland and Namibia to my successor. With these remarks, let me once again express my deepest sympathy with Mrs. Monica Geingob, the Geingob family, his community, and the government and nation of Namibia. Rest in peace, our friend, President Hage Geingob.
Thank you very much, President Sauli Niinisto, President of Finland, for your tribute. I now invite His Excellency Mr. Frank Walter Steinmeier, President of the Federal Republic of Germany.
Your Excellency Nangolo Mumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Madam Monica Geingob, Excellencies and colleagues, Namibians. Today we are assembled to bid farewell. Farewell to a great statesman who shaped the Republic of Namibia like no other. The presence of so many of us here today is a tribute to his unmatched achievements and his lasting legacy. In all of Africa and around the world, Hage Geingob will be remembered for his fight to free this nation from the yoke of apartheid. Here in Namibia, he will be remembered for his instrumental role in crafting Namibia's constitution and steering its country towards democracy, stability, and prosperity. In Germany, however, in the hearts and minds of my compatriots, President Geingob will always be remembered for his courage to reach out to the German people over the dark abyss of our history. The atrocities committed by German troops during colonial rule that resulted in the genocide against the Ovaherero and Nama communities 120 years ago. The path of reconciliation that we embarked upon almost 10 years ago has not been an easy one, but together we have gone very far and we want to go further. When I talked to President Geingob for the last time, late last year, he told me that it was his wish to successfully conclude our joint declaration in order to bring the special relationship between our two countries to a new level. I'm here today to say my country remains committed to his legacy. We are committed to the path of reconciliation. And you know, reconciliation is not about closing the past. It is about taking responsibility for our past, and it is a commitment to a better future together. I hope I will be able to return to this country very soon and under different circumstances because I'm convinced that it is time to tender an apology to the Namibian people. Ladies and gentlemen, my only regret is that our friend, the great President Geingob, will not be there to bring the process he started to an end. And again, I bow my head to Hage Geingob, a brilliant leader of the land of the brave. We share the grief of the Namibian nation and his family. My colleague, partner, and friend, rest in peace. Thank you.
For that tribute. Now, Before I invite the next speaker, I would like to acknowledge the First Lady of Malawi, Madam Monica Chakwera. You are welcome, Madam. And now I have the pleasure to invite His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi, to present his tribute.
Your Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia and Chief Mourner, Your Excellency Madam Monica Geingob, former First Lady of the Republic of Namibia, and the bereaved family, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, distinguished guests, all Namibians everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. From all over the world, we have come to one of Africa's greatest nations to escort one of Africa's greatest sons on his greatest journey home. From all over the world, we have been summoned here by the sound of 2.5 million Namibian hearts breaking from the passing of a national father. We have been summoned here by the sobering sight of the glass chamber of a Namibian gun carriage taking the remains of a great Namibian soldier from State House to Hendrik Witbooi, from Moses Gareb to Katutura, from Casa Rosaria to Parliament Gardens, from Independence Avenue to Independence Stadium, before this hero comes to rest where heroes belong. From all over the world, we have felt the river flowing, a river of Namibian tears. The tears of Zambezi and Kalahari, tears of Kavango and Kunene, tears of Erongo and Komas, the tears of Omusati and Oshkoto, the tears of Mahehe and Okakwena, the tears of Hadap and also Jupa, the tears of Oshana and Karas. Late President Geingob was no ordinary man. And because he went all over the world sowing the seeds of freedom, peace and prosperity for Namibia and Africa, we have come from all over the world to mourn the passing of this great man, whose gravitas in life can only be matched by our grief in his death. In the 3.5 years that I got to know him and work with him, I found in him an elder brother, a wise counselor, a brave warrior, a true statesman, and a dear friend. So as Malawi mourns with you, President Nangolo Mbumba, as Malawi mourns with you, Madam Monica Gengos and family, as Malawi mourns with you, government of Namibia, as Malawi mourns with you, people of Namibia, may God himself comfort you and wipe your tears. And just as the golden sun rises on the Namibian flag and the red sun rises on the Malawian flag, may God himself be the sun that rises upon you to birth a new dawn of unity from this dark night of pain. Malawi mourns with you, Namibia, and you can rest assured that anytime anyone says that late President Geingob was a great freedom fighter, a great statesman, a great thinker, a great president, and a great Pan-Africanist, Malawi will be the first to say amen and amen. May his soul rest in peace.
Your Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi, for that tribute. I now invite His Excellency Mr. Philippe Jacinto Nyusi, President of the Republic of Mozambique.
Excelência Nangolo Mbumba, Presidente da República de Namíbia, esposa.
Your Excellency Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia and spouse.
Querida irmã, antiga primeira-dama Monica Geingob, senhores Excelências, chefes de Estados e Governos, respeitados antigos presidentes da República de Namíbia, irmãs e irmãos namibianos, minhas senhoras e meus senhores.
My dear sister Monica Gengos, dear former presidents of the Republic of Namibia, respected heads of state and government, and former heads of state and government, ladies and gentlemen, people of Namibia.
Os 30 milhões de moçambicanos estão acometidos por um sentimento de profunda dor e consternação pela súbita partida à eternidade de Sua Excelência Hage Geingob, terceiro presidente de Namíbia, nosso irmão e nosso amigo.
The 30 millions of Mozambicans today are overwhelmed by deep sorrow for the untimely demise to eternity of His Excellency Hage Geingob, the third President of Namibia.
De Moçambique, trazemos os votos de simpatia, amizade e solidariedade do nosso povo e governo para o povo irmão e governo da Namíbia por esta perda irreparável.
From Mozambique, we have come to convey wishes of friendship, solidarity, and sympathy from our people and government to the people and government of Namibia for this great loss.
Viemos prestar uma merecida homenagem ao legado do então jovem professor de Warongo, que nos princípios da década 60 liderava protestos contra o sistema discriminatório de educação bantu.
We've come to pay the deserved homage to the legacy of the then young teacher of Warongo, who in the early 60s led protests against the discriminatory Bantu education system.
Os moçambicanos são eternamente gratos ao presidente Geingob, continuador do presidente Samia Joma e do presidente Ipuamba, líder bastante solidário e preocupado com a situação de segurança, estabilidade e prosperidade dos países da região, em particular do nosso país.
The Mozambicans will remain forever grateful to President Geingob, the successor of President Hifikepunye Pohamba, and President Sam Nujoma, a leader of high values of solidarity and always concerned with the security, stability and prosperity of the countries of the region and of our country in particular.
Enquanto presidente da SADC e da Troika do órgão, o presidente Geingob incentivou o processo de diálogo para a paz em Moçambique, que culminou com a assinatura em Maputo do Acordo de Paz e Reconciliação Nacional em 6 de agosto de 2019, numa cerimônia em que ele fez questão de presenciar pessoalmente.
As SADC chairperson and Organ Troika chairperson, President Geingob encouraged the process of dialogue for peace in Mozambique that culminated with the signing of the Peace and Reconciliation Agreement in Maputo on 6 August 2019 at a ceremony where he felt it was his duty to attend personally.
Eu posso contar um episódio. O presidente Geingob era homem alegre e de humor positivo. Quando assinei o acordo de paz com o líder da oposição, o Geingob veio junto de nós, os dois assinantes, e disse: se vocês desfizerem este acordo e voltarem entre irmãos a lutar, chame a nós todos de novo e depois digam isso em nossa frente.
I would like to recall an episode. President Geingob was a man of good humor, a very positive humor. And as we were signing the peace agreement with the leader of the opposition, he said to us, well, you are now signing this agreement, but if you ever go back to fighting, please call us so that we bear testimony of what you are doing again.
O seu papel ao nível da SADC foi decisivo no envio da missão da SADC em Moçambique, SAMIM, para apoiar as nossas forças de defesa e segurança empenhadas no combate ao terrorismo na província nortenha de Cabo Delgado.
His role at the SADC level was decisive for the deployment of the SADC mission in Mozambique, SAMIM, to support our defense and security forces engaged in the fight on terrorism in the northern province of Cabo Delgado.
Caro irmão e amigo Hage, não te diremos adeus, porque tu és herói da dimensão do povo.
Dear brother and my friend Hage Geingob, we do not accept to bid farewell to you because you are the hero of the people.
Os heróis não morrem. Entregaremos o teu corpo à terra, mas os teus ideais, a tua visão e a tua determinação continuarão a servir de fonte de inspiração na construção de um mundo de paz, justiça e próspero, pelo qual dedicaste toda a tua vida.
Heroes never die. We will surrender your body to the soil, but your ideals, your determination and vision will remain the source of inspiration to building a world of justice, peace and prosperity, for which you devoted your entire life.
Aqui e agora, curvados diante do teu corpo, cumprimos o dever de te prestar um tributo de reconhecimento e a homenagem que tanto mereces.
Here and now, we bow our heads before your body to fulfill the duty of paying tribute of recognition to you as so much deserved homage.
Ao nosso irmão, Sua Excelência Nangolo Mbumba, a quem incumbe dar continuidade à obra do presidente Geingob, reafirmamos a nossa elevada consideração, estima pessoal e apoio pleno na nobre missão de liderar a República de Namíbia, guiado pelos princípios e valores funcionais desta nação, sob o vosso lema da unidade, liberdade e justiça.
To our brother, His Excellency Nangolo Mbumba, on whose shoulders the continuity of the work of President Geingob rests, we reaffirm our highest consideration, personal esteem, and full support in the noble duty of leading the Republic of Namibia, guided by the same founding principles and values of this nation under your motto of unity, freedom, and justice.
A família enlutada, a senhora Mônica Geingob, minha irmã e amiga da nossa família, aos filhos e demais familiares, ao povo da Namíbia em geral, em nome dos moçambicanos, do meu governo, da minha esposa e no meu próprio, reiteramos os sentimentos de pesar por esta perda, bem como votos de consolo dos moçambicanos e certamente de todos os povos irmãos da África Austral e do continente.
To the bereaved family, to Madam Monica Gengos, my sister and friend of our family, to the children and other family members, and to the people of Namibia at large, on behalf of the Mozambicans, my government and my spouse, and indeed on my own behalf, we extend our heartfelt condolences for this loss, as well as wishes of solace.
Que a alma do presidente Hage Geingob descanse em paz.
May the soul of President Hage Geingob rest in eternal peace.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Nyusi of the Republic of Mozambique, for the tribute. I now would like to invite His Excellency President William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. You have the floor, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency Nangolo Mbumba, my brother, the President of Namibia, and your dear wife, Madam Monica Geingob, and your family, and children, Your Excellency, Madam Vice President of Namibia, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, and the head of delegations, I bring you solemn greetings from the people of Kenya and profound condolences on the demise of our brother, the President of Namibia, President Hage Geingob. I learned of his demise with shock. And the first thing I did was to pick my phone and call the Vice President, who we were colleagues before. And I passed my condolences and those of the people of Kenya to him. Today, I join you on behalf of the people of Kenya and government of Kenya on this solemn send-off of our brother, the President of Namibia. President Geingob was a great freedom fighter. He was an accomplished scholar and the architect of the Namibian Constitution that has given this country great stability. President Geingob was a passionate leader and the third president of Namibia, and he stood tall as a Pan-Africanist who believed in the unity of our continent. We know that President Geingob believed that independence is a project and work in progress. We must work hard on this independent and freedom project, especially now, so that we can liberate, not just for independence sake, but we can liberate our economies saddled with debt, liberate our young people trapped in unemployment. These are principles President Geingob worked so hard to achieve. Inspired by his spirit of Pan-Africanism, those of us in SADC, in EAC, in COMESA, and all of us as members of the Africa Union, we must work together to make sure that we execute the reform of the international financial architecture so that we can liberate our economies from debt, so that we can demand that as nations, we are not profiled negatively, we are not profiled unfairly, that together again, we must demand responsible sovereign lending that ensures that our countries have resources, concessional resources, that can help us position our continent as the epicenter of the next industrial revolution. Together, as a continent, believing in what President Geingob believed in, we must stand together with one voice to reform our Africa Union, to make it fit for purpose, so that we can march into the future as the epicenter of green manufacturing, position ourselves with our resources, enormous resources, the enormous energy resources, agricultural potential, mineral, and natural resources that we have. We cannot certainly be a continent defined by poverty. We must be a continent defined by opportunity, by potential, and by investment. That is what President Geingob believed in. I will miss my brother Geingob next month in April when we convene, and I have invited my brothers from this continent for us to have a candid conversation with our development brothers and sisters, with the donor community, under the IDA 21 replenishment framework with the World Bank, so that we can have a proper positioning of our continent and claim our place as a continent of potential, opportunity, and investment. My brother Nangolo Mbumba, you're fitting into the big shoes of our departed brother. We believe that you have what it takes, and you can count on the support of Kenya as you take the reins of leadership in your great country. Mama Monica, you are a great pillar of our brother. You have our prayers, you and your children, as you face the future. And we stand in solidarity with you and your family, and to all the people of Namibia. May Geingob's soul rest in peace. I thank you.
Excellency President Ruto, for that tribute. I would like to recognize the presence of Nuncio Dario Pavisa, representative of the Holy See. I would then proceed to call on Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, to present her tribute. Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Madam Monica Geingob, widow of the late President Hage Geingob, Excellencies, heads of state and government here present, fellow mourners. Allow me to convey Our deepest condolences and sympathies to you, President Nangolo Mbumba, and the brotherly people of the Republic of Namibia, following the passing of our dear brother and friend, President Hage Geingob. Our deepest condolences to Madam Monica Geingob, the entire Geingob family, for losing a part of their own, a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a brother. Fellow mourners, I'm here to bid farewell to a man I consider an elder brother and a mentor. I recall his generosity during my last visit to Namibia, when he personally, accompanied by his wife, my sister Monica, welcomed me at the airport and found time for a candid conversation concerning the political development and security situation of our region, SADC. His bass voice and relished laughter still resonate in my ears. It feels like, just like yesterday, when we used to sit together at the AU and chat away on several SADC stands. His wise counsel, resolute determination, and devotion will surely be missed, but his memories will live on. We vividly recall how, as SWAPO's representative to the UN, he worked with the then Tanzanian permanent representative, Honorable John Malechela, and other African diplomats to make the case for Namibian independence at the United Nations. His Pan-Africanist nature formed the cornerstone of his presidency, and through his support, we opened a High Commission in Windhoek, which has further solidified our relations. Today, we are here not to mourn this gallant son of Africa, but to celebrate a life well lived, which gave cause to the prosperous Namibia, and we are witnessing today and renewed hope to Africa. Dear Namibian sisters and brothers, the immense loss is our loss. We share your grief and sorrow. To Madam Monica Geingob and the bereaved family, we pray that Almighty God grant you solace, courage, and fortitude. I also wish to leave you with the words of Isaiah 14:10, which reminds us of God's promise to strengthen. May the soul of our beloved brother, Hage Geingob, rest in eternal peace. Amen. To my brother, President Nangolo Mbumba, Tanzania assures you of our continued support and cooperation, and we strongly believe that under your able stewardship, Namibia is in safe hands. I thank you. Thank you very much.